Hey watch lovers, Brad from Brent Miller Jewelers. And today I have for us two of the newer green dial Seiko PADI editions. On my left is the SPB501 and on my right is the SRPL53. This is the Samurai. I've reviewed these independently of each other, I think 2-3 weeks ago now, and someone asked, hey, I'd love to see these side by side. Still have them in stock, so I grabbed them again today. I'm not going to go over all of the specs on both of these. However, I will link those videos in the description. So if you want to see everything on this spec-wise or on both of them, just take a look at the links in the description. This is really just to put these side by side and ask you for your feedback, solicit your thoughts on which model might be right for you if you're in the market, if you love the green. I hate to say it, we're in Philadelphia Eagles country here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, so this green is not too far off the shade, so I think one of these could be easily worn on a Sunday supporting your favorite football team, if that's indeed what you want to do. But again, a lot of similarities, obviously the color, but some differences as well. Looking at the handset, the markers have the same date wheel at the 430 position, very similar bezels. We'll take a listen to action on that. But if you're asking me, which I think the person asked which one I preferred in that comment, I actually like the Samurai. So let's talk pricing real quick. $1,550 on this 62 Moss inspired SPB501 versus $650 on the SRPL53 here. So for the price point, again, nearly, I guess, even more than half the price, I just like the aesthetic on it. Very angular, kind of off the lugs, the bracelet itself. But just some of the smaller details, I really like the knurling on the crown as well as around the bezel. Again, small details that I like. Again, nothing wrong with the 62 Moss. It's just not as unique, I guess is what I'll say. And so I do like that it's a little bit different. So it's one of the features I like. And then I also like and enjoy the handsets. I think Seiko, back in the day when I got into the hobby, of course, I had I think I had the original Gen Orange Monster. I wish I still had that in my collection. So it just kind of reminds me a little bit more of that. So I do like the handset a little bit better here on this SRLP53. But again, just personal preference. The dials, obviously you can see there you have the texture kind of from the water, the same to me. So again, just really personal preference, but for the money, I prefer the aesthetic here, and that's where I would spend my money. Hopefully that answers the question I got in the comment for these. Bezel action on both. Let's take a listen. Will say it's easier to grab the bezel with the spacing around it. So this one's a little bit harder to grab, even though I said I like that aesthetic. It's a little bit smooth with gloves on. And the other thing I'll point out on the clasp, you are getting the newer updated clasp here. So you have all of the micro adjustability. Again, dual push button. Just slides that in and out right there. So you're getting that. I'm sure someone's gonna say, well, what am I getting for the money? You can look here, pretty much your standard kind of stamped clasp here on this. I forget the movements off the top of my head right now, but I do know you're getting I wanna say, is it a 4R35 maybe? Again, I'll list all that in the specs. So you are getting a better movement, you are getting a better clasp. Overall fit and finish is better in the SPB501. You can feel that in hand, I will say that. So again, for me though, it's just it's the overall look and feel. I've rambled on long enough here. Let me throw these both on wrist. The one thing I will say is I do like the sizing better of the 501 here. Again, I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist. So based on sizing, this would be it. No questions asked. I do like this and the way it fits and the way it feels compared to the Samurai here below. Let me throw this on quick. If I could do anything I wanted with this watch, I would give this to me in a 39mm titanium version, and I think I'm a buyer. I think under $1,000 on titanium for this, You could get me to even 1200 maybe, different dial options, 39 millimeters titanium. I would seriously love to see what that looked and felt like. But as is, a little bit big for me personally, again, on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. Let me hit the lights for you real quick. As always, greatly appreciate you viewing. If there's anything I can do for you, anything at all, please feel free to reach out. If you have a video request or something you'd like to see, always happy to try to take requests. But let me know what you think. Do you like the 62 Moss or the Samurai design on these green PADI dial versions? Thanks again for viewing. We'll see you in the next video.